Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk and my ranking of the Scream movies. I debated whether or not to go and watch the TV series and throw them in, but who's got the time? You've seen my reviews, hopefully, I hope, yes. So I'm not going to go into these films again in any great detail. If you want to know my overall thoughts on them, then go and check out my reviews. But yeah, just thought I'd do a ranking video to wrap up the series. Obviously I'm going to start with the worst and work up to the best, as is customary to do in these things. When I say worst, I will say this: there isn't a single film in this franchise that I dislike. So what I mean is, yeah, my least favourite, although, as I say, the one that is on the bottom I still like, still find pretty entertaining. 4 films, obviously. At number 4, we've got Scream 3. I still have a soft spot for Scream 3, but I just think that the tone is not completely different, but it is different because we moved to LA. We're not in that kind of suburb anymore, we're not in the high school kind of setting, college kind of setting. We're going in Hollywood, and it does change the vibe, the feel, the texture, I guess, of the franchise. It's not necessarily a bad thing to do that, but it's just I prefer it where it was situated prior to this film. A couple of characters that are a bit perfunctory, just don't need to be there. They are simply cannon fodder. And yeah, I find the relationship stuff between Dewey and Gale to be kind of like 2 steps back. Still a solid entry. It's just on the bottom for me. At number 3, we've got Scream 4. Now I saw this in the cinema originally, and I remember just giving up on it and walking out. Not because it was terrible or anything like that, but I just, for whatever reason, I think I was past it. I was past that whole Scream thing. I think Scream 4 was just a bit too late at the time. Not now. Obviously, I've put this above Scream 3 now, so it's clearly gone up in my estimations. For whatever reason, that first time in cinemas, it just didn't hit me. It didn't gel with me. I was just like, yeah, the whole postmodern thing, I'm over it. I'm done with it. But yeah, time has been kind to it, I think. Going back now to the series after having not seen them for a very long time and just watching them consecutively, this one works really well, much better than I gave it credit for. I did see the twist as to who the killer was going to be coming a mile off. I don't know why. I don't know. You watch enough of these films, I don't know, you get a sixth sense for these things, I don't know, but I did. I kind of suspected right from the bat who the killer was going to be, and I was right. Does that diminish the film somewhat? No, not really, but I'm not as sold on, spoiler alert, I'm not as sold on Emma Roberts in this film as a lot of people are, mainly because of the dialogue she gets to kind of chew on at the end, when she's revealing the whole plot, why she's done it, this, that and the other. It's almost like Scooby-Doo, the killers take the mask off and then they reveal everything, Bond villain territory, that kind of thing. Just do what you were going to do and get it done, so that for me does let the film down a little bit. But no, it is good. It's got some really funny moments. It's quite brutal, probably the most brutal of the 4, particularly a scene in which Ghostface kills this girl on a bed. It's probably the bloodiest moment we've had in the franchise. Sydney kicks ass in this one. She's no longer running from the killer, but she's actually running into the house to face the killer. That's growth there. I like where we find that character, that she's no longer going to take any crap. She's going to stare death in the face and take it on. And number 2 is Scream 2. So I was really big on Scream, which obviously is my number 1, as you can work out from that now. But Scream just blew me away, back when it came out, and it's what really started my love of horror movies. So when they announced Scream 2, which was pretty quick, to be honest, pretty quick after the release of the first Scream. I was really excited for it, very excited, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. It has diminished somewhat over the years. I still think it holds up pretty well as a slasher sequel. You know, generally speaking, when it comes to slasher movies, sequels do tend to drop off pretty quick. You know, there's not that many slasher sequels that are on par with the original, let alone better. It had very big shoes to fill, you know, and it doesn't quite get there, but it's still pretty entertaining. You know, yeah, it's watch my review. You know, I give all my thoughts in the review, but I like it. It's solid. It's got some issues. I think primarily the killers in it aren't as strong as Stu and Billy from the first film. They do feel like they're kind of trying desperately to be psychotic rather than just, yeah, like with Billy and Stu, they felt very real to me. Their psychosis felt real. It didn't feel like they were trying to amp it up and, hey, look at me, I'm psychotic, which I kind of feel with Debbie Salt and with Oliphant's character. They really play it to the hilt at the end there. But yeah, again, I like the setting. I like Randy coming back. He's kind of my favourite character in the franchise. One of, and his death scene was really impactful when I first saw it, and it still is really when I watch it now. So yeah, great stuff. Obviously, the first one, as I say, is my number one. Scream, one of the best slasher movies, I think. Personally, one of my favourite anyway. So I think some people are a little down on it, maybe because of how successful it was, and a lot of people are like, oh, but what about the 80s stuff? Yeah, whatever. I love Scream. It's what got me into horror movies. I think it's just brilliantly executed. You know, it has something to say, and it does it very well. It's brilliantly performed by all the actors, and yeah, it reignited the slasher genre when the slasher genre, quite frankly, was as dead as a doornail. So yeah, there you go. Scream, number one. But how would you rank them? I would like to know. Do leave your rankings down below in the comments section. And until next time, cracking.